Hello students. Before moving to the next topic of perception, let's reinforce the topics we had covered in our last class. Self-concept and social identity. Self-concept, you must remember, individual self-beliefs, who am I? And the self-evaluation is, how do I believe about myself? So self-concept was individual self-beliefs and self-evaluation. And next we had covered social identity theory, where we studied people define themselves by the groups they belong to. So the next topic, moving further to the self-concept and the social identity theory, where the people perceive different things in a different manner. So there is a very famous quote by Moorhead and Griffin, known to be as a very good psychologist. If everyone perceived everything in the same way, things would be a lot simpler in the organizations. So if we take things in a same manner, in a same way others are thinking, it will be very easy for us to live our life. It will be very easy for us to work in an organization, to work in a group. Now coming to the definitions of perception given by the different psychologists, given by different authors. Perception can be defined as a process. So it is a process, it is a sequence of activities by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. This definition clearly states this perception is a process where each and every individual keep things for a longer period of time in their mind and interpret through their sensory impression through their eyes, through their skin, through their emotions, through their feelings, to give meaning to whatever they have organized, whatever they have felt, and they interpret in a positive manner or in a negative manner. It is also defined as a process of receiving, selecting, organizing, interpreting, checking and reacting to sensory stimuli or a data. So here the word stimuli means an object or a data. So in short, perception is a process of reaction over sensation. So we have 6 sensations. Now coming to the perceptual process, the process of perception. Now here I want to give you an example. If you look around you, you'll see so many things. You'll see fan, you'll see lights. In a class, you'll see projectors, you'll see teachers, bags, tables, chairs, notice boards and everything. So you receive all these things, you keep all these things. You select some of the things which are important to you, which have meaning for you. Then the things which are important for you, you organize all these things in your mind. And if somebody asks you, say your teacher asks you what you have seen, what have you heard, what are you looking around? So then immediately you give answers, ma'am, I was looking at you, I was looking at the projector, I was looking at the blackboard. So this is, you give meaning to the things, you interpret things, and this interpretation totally depends upon your past experiences, your present experiences, your surroundings and your environment. Now before interpretation, you check whatever you speak. So it's a nanoseconds process which actually goes on in your mind. You check whether you are speaking, whatever you are speaking, whether that is right or that is wrong. So then simultaneously or even immediately after checking, you react towards that. Your reaction may be positive or your reaction may be negative. And automatically when you give this reaction, you immediately look at the other person's face, ki what reaction is coming from that particular person. So that is again the receiving starts at the other person's hand, and the person who is actually doing this perceptual activity is called a receiver. Now definitely the question is there in your mind, ki what actually is this process of selection? Why do we select some of the things? Why do we leave other things? So there are some internal factors and some external factors which actually helps you in the selection of the stimuli or selection of the object. Some of the external factors I'm explaining first of all, external factors which affects your perception or which actually helps you to select stimuli. The first, nature of the object. Nature of the object. So students, you see, if you look at some of the things, simply you're looking at them, you're not listening to anything, that object has a very less impact on your mind, or you will remember that object, or you'll remember that incident for a very, very short span of time. Whereas if you look at the thing simultaneously, you're hearing what your teacher is saying, you're looking at the blackboard what your teacher is writing, what is there at the note, what is there at the blackboard by your teacher, or by LCD projector, some PPTs are showing up. So automatically you are able to keep those things in your mind for the longer period of time. Then the second factor is intensity factor. Intensity is, sometimes you hear loud songs, sometimes you hear very, very soft songs. So again, loud sound and the soft sound is again has an impact. The intensity of that thing again has an impact on you. Contrast. So you must have seen a cherry blossoms ad. Cherry blossom ad is always in a black and white. Charlie Chaplin is coming in your is coming and explaining the things in a, yes, it is a black shoe polish. So again, look at the slides. If it is in a very black and white contrast, or in a contrast which is again you are able to look at them in a very easy manner, you remember them in a fast manner. Then you are sitting idle somewhere, something is moving in front of you, again it helps you to keep the things in your mind for the longer period of time. Then location of a particular object also helps you to remember the thing. Size, a very small thing or a very large thing, again helps you to select the stimuli in a better manner. Then repetition, again and again we are telling you to do a particular object. In a mathematical calculations, when we ask you to do a particular problem again and again and again, so you are able to keep the things, or you are able to, it actually helps you to remember the thing. Then new things attracts you a lot in comparison to the old things. Then we have some internal factors which helps you to select the stimuli. The first factor is the learning, and the learning cognitive factor has considerable influences on perception. I have given some examples here. So first word is McVitie, MacDonald, Macbeth, and machinery. If you look at these words, the word machinery, you immediately read and you immediately respond, because this is a word which you actually comes across you very common. Then the psychological needs of yours. Needs play a significant role in perceptual selectivity. So you are expecting a telephone call from somebody, and immediately a bell rang and you picked up the receiver and you said, hello, where were you? So that was again the need of your, definitely it is not a psychological need. And then seeing sand from distance as food when person is hungry. Age difference. Old executives always complain about the young ones incapable of taking tough decisions, while young executives complain about the old resistance to change. Then your interest. So things which you do, which is of your interest, definitely helps you to keep engaged in that particular job for a longer period of time than the other things which are not of your interest. Then is the ambivalence. Ambivalence is your perception always gets distracted due to the two different views. You are sitting somewhere, one person saying this is a real good picture, another person saying no yaar, it was a boring picture. So definitely you get confused over a period of time ki yes, what do I do, whether I should watch this movie or yeah, I leave this movie. So these are actually the perception, or actually the factors which helps you to select the stimuli for a longer period of time. And thank you so much. I hope this clears selection of stimuli, or why do we select particular things in comparison to other things. Thank you so much, and looking forward for the next.